That's what we really need. Need that fancy deck sharing.
There's Alex. There's Alex. Okay, everybody. It is 9:49 p.m. A.m. 9:49 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's morning, so that's why Alex and I look like beasts. And this is our fourth, I think. I think this is the fourth Q&A with between myself and Alex Rashevsky, first officer of Star Crusade.
Yep.
And we're doing this now post official release. This is there's been some downtime where the game's been quiet. Things are picking up again. The game is now available on iOS. And what is the Android date, Alex?
Well, the date is soon, within the next week or two. So the build is ready. We just have to roll it out. We're working on a lot of updates to iOS and Steam, and so we just have to say, all right, this is it, and just publish the Android version.
All right, so there you have it. This is our first. Ooh, I think I just messed up. Okay, this is our first Q&A post official release, preparing for the second mobile release on the Android platform, and then you have a true multi-platform experience. I'll be able to play this on my Android phone and on my iPad and on Steam. I can play.
There you go.
I can make 3 accounts, or I can play all my accounts on all at the same time. No, I can't do that. But
Yeah, it'll definitely kick you out of each account.
But things are going. His volume is low.
All right, let's test the volume here a little bit. Hang on. How about? Hold on, I'm messing with it. What the heck? Oh, Skype is, I think, auto adjusting it. That's what's happening. Go
Yeah,
with
I
Skype.
I have
How's it
him.
now?
I have him as maximum as possible.
And it's been
Android
a while.
release is when they are finishing the build. They need to submit it to Google, and they as soon as possible is the Android release.
Yep. How's this for volume, Chess?
Sounds about the same to me.
Same to you?
I
Yeah, I
can't
bumped the
boost
volume
you
here.
anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, it's just, I think it got better. Hang on, levels. I'll just bump it a little bit more, and we'll just leave it at that.
I have myself very very low right now to help with the contrast.
Check, check. Yeah, I think we should be good. I think we should be good. Let me see. I want to run the game also. Yep, it is running. All right, sweet. So yeah, so the Android version is coming soon, and then after that, we're gonna do even more platforms. We're gonna cover some platforms that you may or may not know. So we'll
Like
be everywhere.
Steam OS and Mac OS.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do Amazon. Amazon
Amazon is a
has.
platform.
I know it is. They're tablets. It's an Android platform, but anyways, like Amazon Fire, and they have some decent tablet users there. And yeah, we'll do Mac OS, we'll do Linux eventually. And if we're crazy enough, we're gonna do PlayStation and Xbox eventually also. Oh, Windows 10 is another platform we're gonna be doing soon. You know
You're
that
going to be on
Windows
like
10 store?
the Microsoft Store, huh?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be the best game of all time on the Microsoft Store.
Well, that's a tall bar. That's a tall bar.
Right, right.
Oh,
Well, yeah. So that's what's going on. That's what we're working. A couple of weeks ago, I was working with our guys at different offices in Russia and Belarus, and spending time working with a team there. It was some hard 24-hour day work to get to the release, but we got it done.
yeah. Did Stalin come by the development studio and make you work harder?
Yeah, well, I think I made people work harder.
So
That's the bottom
you're the
line there.
Stalin of Star Crusade.
Hold on, let me drop a note into our Discord. Or actually, just are you on our Discord server?
I am not logged into Discord. Plus, if I do anything on my second screen, your picture will disappear. So
Gotcha. All right, let me just drop a link there.
because I'm a very simple man and I can't manage more than the 6 things going on my computer now.
All right, I dropped the link.
Yeah, and you know, I think Mont is streaming. All the Russian guys are over there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't realize Monta's streaming. We don't want to break up their chat, so we'll keep it real quiet. So yeah, I just wanted to basically share some stuff about what's going on.
Well, I think
see
I don't know.
you've
I
been
mean,
climbing the ranks.
maybe Mont would want to be here. Maybe he wants to host and come be here for the hour we talk. I don't know. It's up to him, of course.
Well, he's got the Russian audience, and so we're gonna just start answering questions in Russian. So I think we could do that separately.
Yeah, they come. The Russians come. They tell me they don't understand English, but that I talk too much about these body parts. And I say, well, you don't understand English. How do you know that I talk too much about these body parts? And then they answer in Russian.
Yep, that's why Google Translate to the rescue. But anyway, most importantly is the question of the day is I want to make a deck that is not the top 3 or 4 decks that we're used to seeing.
Well, why don't we? I mean, since you brought it up, I think that's one of the most important topics is the current meta. I think I just lost to some decks that I haven't really seen. Seems like Terrazin Destroyer is like a favorite odd deck. Goes in like
every deck.
Every deck that's not a meta deck has Terrazin Destroyer. It's like that is the card you put in if you don't have a theme to your deck. You use that to wreck people. Right. So do you have analytic tools you're using to observe what people are playing?
Yeah, of course. So we've got heavy analytics on everything. We know the win rate, the usage rate, the specific on every card, every faction, everything. And we do have a pretty big balance patch coming. It's probably 50 to 70 different cards and changes. Some stuff is getting changed drastically. Other stuff, just the stats.
Any highlights of that you want to mention that might affect this discussion?
Yeah, I can probably pull up some of this. I mean, in fact, 5 or 6 changes were supposed to go in the previous update that just hit, and we didn't make it because we didn't localize it to 7 languages. So we didn't want to release it where it's just in English for everyone or broken somehow. So we kind of held it back.
Oh, there's only one language that matters. Let's be real.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, so Star Crusade right now is popular in America, Russia, and Japan, and the UK. Like, those are the main countries.
What language do they speak in the UK?
A little bit of everything. But we do, the point of localizing this so that we could get the international community, which is super important for us. And we're going to actually push that more and localize to even more languages because I think we did a pretty good job with our voices and the lore and the text and localizing all that has been a huge undertaking. But I think we pulled it off, and we definitely want to use it because people love to play the game in their native language. I mean,
yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, there are other games that are coming out right now that are popular, but they're only available in English. And I watch occasionally a Russian streamer play it, and there's I can't read Cyrillic, but the streamers generally speak English, and they tell me that people are complaining that it's not localized.
Oh yeah, I mean it's, and I'll tell you why it's not localized because it's a huge pain in the ass. It's super hard to do it, and
well, especially with the amount of fully voiced audio you have.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the other cool thing, one of the cool things that I wanted to share with you today was that we are going to be adding new cards to the game all the time outside of expansions. So this is probably still 2 to 3 weeks away from the first release, but what we want to do is we want to release 3 cards every week, 3 new cards every week. Right now, that's the plan. Just
And
every week
are you
going.
going to release them through the store feature you have now at the bottom of the main screen?
Yeah, something like that. Like it'll pop up somewhere there. It'll show you like here are the weekly cards. You can get them from boosters immediately once they come out, and but they're not going to be craftable until the end of the week. So that way, you're going to be able to basically acquire them during that week during using special ways, either for credits or from boosters or what have you.
So people like me who are sitting on over a
A
thousand
ton of
credits.
scrap. Exactly. You won't just be able to craft all 3 of them and just get on with it.
Yeah, well, I also have like, 1,300 credits, and I'm like, should I buy packs? Well, why would I buy packs? I can craft everything I want. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I mean, you got a pretty much a full collection, right?
yeah, and not, partly because you guys, sponsored some of the early streams during beta, and partly because I spent real money. The
Right.
combination of the two things, I have all of the cards that are played, yeah, as far as I know.
Speaking of which, we definitely one of the things we want to do is we want to keep the card. We don't want to have cards in the game that are just throwaway cards. You know how in some other card games they release cards that are just inferior, basically. And so, if we have those now, we want to bump them. And so, part of that big balance patch is going to have some changes in cards that are not getting used or that are considered inferior or something like that. So we definitely want to have a lot of. We don't want to have dead cards. Is the point?
Well, I think last time we did a Q&A, we tried to identify what the dead cards were, and we really didn't come up with a lot, if I recall.
What we did, we concentrated on paragons, and then all of the stuff that we talked about, we basically put in, and so
Oh,
now the paragons are all pretty good.
that's right. I remember that. That
But
we
then we
did
got to go down
identify.
and do the same thing for heroics and the same thing for elites because there's more of them. So
Yeah, I remember specifically. You guys didn't understand why nobody was playing the Devourer, and Dimitri was like, "Oh, that's why." And
right, right. So yeah, so that's what we want to do. We want to keep it balanced right now as we roll into a regular cycle of updates. Because now we've got to manage multiple platforms. It's not as easy as just saying, "Here's a patch. It's live on Steam. Enjoy." Now we got to submit a patch to iOS. They've got to review it, and then 2 days later or 3 days later, we got to release it. And it's all got to make sense with minimal downtime because now we've got basically an orders of magnitude more people playing, and so any downtime is pretty bad for
so
us.
Alcalitos was saying, wouldn't that dilute booster card value? I'm not sure what that question means.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Alcalitos?
I mean, they have previously introduced new cards to the booster set. And I think the initial reaction was mixed, but I don't think anyone notices that now because it's months later. And
I
P.
think
Alexov, the Bulgarian, is asking about trading, which most games that have crafting don't have trading.
Yeah. I mean, that's still in our very huge backlog, and we talked about this in the past also. And if we are to implement trading, it's going to be with some specific requirements. So you won't just be able to have a secondary market. There'll be some cards that are tradable, some cards that aren't, maybe some changeable or basically customizable cards or something like that. So that's a feature that's on the backlog. The thing with the backlog is that we can only do that many things at a time, and that's why it's super slow going. We have to concentrate on the stuff that's important for the community and important for growing the game, because I think we all want and we all would benefit from having 10 and 100 times as many players in the game. It's just healthier for the meta, for everything.
Maybe you could move your microphone a little closer to your face. Maybe that would help. Maybe.
Do you not hear me?
I hear you fine. I just I know that the louder you are, the better it is for the stream. For some reason, the interaction between OBS and Skype is not very good.
All right, let me boost my.
It means adding cards will make it difficult to find the cards you want in boosters. Well, yes, but this is always the case. I mean, no matter how many, it's true, increasing the number of cards in a booster set uh, dilutes the card pool in the boosters, but this would be true in any case. If you're opening boosters just to get a Soul Devourer, you could be
You should
opening.
craft it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, crafting it would be more efficient.
So, how's my mic now? I made it a maximum.
Yeah, now you're almost,
volume.
now you're overloading yourself.
Okay, all right. Oh yeah, that's true. I can see my levels are off the charts. Ridiculous. The levels are off the chart. Okay, let's check it out now. Yeah, again, it seems super loud on my side.
Yeah, it's like I said, if you and I were having a conversation, there would be no issue. This is just a streaming issue.
Recording issue, yeah. Okay, so it's at 85 boost, and my levels look pretty good from where I'm looking. All right, so yeah, in terms of finding, yeah, right now there's already 430 or 440 different cards when you're busting open packs. So yeah,
That's a very large set for one booster block. I mean, Hearthstone, I think when they release a new expansion, it's usually 230 cards in a booster block. So
think about what to do with this, because the Vraxian expansion has, I think, I don't remember how many exactly, 60 or 70 cards all said and done. So I don't know if we'll release that as a separate standalone, or if that's also going to be bunched in. We'll figure out what to do with all that once the cards start getting basically out of control in terms of volume. But that's what we're planning to do, is expansions. And yeah, the expansion Panda, Pro Panda is the Vraxian expansions. There's going to be 60 to 70 new cards, including modules. And we're going to do the weekly cards as soon as possible, because I really like that feature, because we can introduce just fun little cards, right? If it's a mini set of 3, and every week something new, something to look forward to, something new to maybe craft a deck around or complement a deck. So I'm excited about that.
So getting back to something we started talking about, I had asked you if you had analytics. You said you're looking at it, but the perception that I'm getting from the viewers is that there are a few decks that are the strongest in general, that have the best win rate, and then my personal perception is if those decks were to be nerfed, we would see the rise of the decks that were owning the game for most of its history, which was Consortium Rush and Firepower Terran. That these decks would immediately become the strongest once again, without any question. You guys at one time attempted to nerf Firepower Terran when I was playing it regularly, and I didn't feel you made it any weaker, really. It didn't affect my ability to win with it, at any rate. How do you feel? I mean, you and I have talked a little bit privately, in chat, but sending messages is very inefficient communication. So how do you balance this? You said you have 50 or 70 card adjustments coming in. What does that taste like? How do we get to a place where, in our conversations we said maybe, having 12 or 13 viable decks at the top of the meta would be a desirable scenario. How do you get there from here? You muted yourself. Oh, okay. Well, I'll entertain you. I guess Alex is. Oh, he's having an internet problem, and he disconnected. Okay. Look, it's Alex and his daughter. How cute. And they have paint on their faces. What are the decks I think are the strongest? I think that uh
Oh, Christ. I mean, Skype. Can you hear me?
yeah, you're fine.
Ridiculous. But I heard everything you said. I just couldn't respond.
I think I'll call it as I think the strongest decks right now are Overextend, Anunnaki support shield screens, Anunnaki support screens, and Hazurgog face, Hellfire Cannon to the face. I think
That's
those.
a classic one. That's my favorite.
I think those three are the most consistent decks right now, and probably broken.
So, I think after this big balance hits, I think it's going to be pretty fun. Like, again, if we take our goal, which we haven't been able to do so far, but it's always been our objective to do this, is to keep balancing the game with little tweaks here and there. I think it's with the level of involvement that we have with the community. I'm always sitting on the Steam forums and chatting with the streamers and etc. And I think we can all get to a point where, like you said, we have a ton of viable decks at the top. And I think it's going to take some time, but I think we can do it. I think we can. We don't need to do huge, nerfs or huge buffs in order to make that happen. I think as long as we allow ourselves to change cards, that haven't been touched for months, but we just give an extra health point, or an extra interesting ability, or we take something away. When our card design, we always want to emphasize interesting choices. So, like for a lot of modules, for instance, we did conditions. But then when we ended up releasing it, we saw that sometimes the conditions are too easy to reach or too difficult to reach. And so the modules become either overused, overextend, or underused. Like some modules just aren't used because they can't live up to the other ones. And so we are going to make changes, and sometimes I think the more overused something is, the more we're going to try to adjust it rather than just nerf it, to Kingdom Come. So, for instance, the Puppet Master, the Anunnaki module Puppet Master, which we thought was wacky, and we wanted to see what would happen. But what ended up happening is it doesn't really get much use. Pretty much gets no use because it is wild and wacky and it can't really survive. So we're changing it now in a pretty big way, but it's also going to be, it's still going to be wacky, but it's going to be much, much more playable in the meta.
So, are you saying you think you would rather balance by buffing cards than nerfing cards?
No, I think the point is just not to do huge sweeping, gigantic changes where, okay, everybody's using this, now we've done buff the other one, and now everybody's using that. I think just little changes over time, over several updates, I think will get us to where we need to be.
Well, I mean, yes, and again, I am not a professional game developer. I'm a professional game player, or a very poorly paid game player. It costs me more than I make because I make nothing. Um, but uh, the thing that for me is if I play a season, I'm okay with the meta being one way for that season.
Right.
If the next season comes and we're in the exact same meta, I get bored. I say, "Oh, this is
So
good.
that
This is
that
the
makes
same
sense.
thing we did last month," and I the easiest way for me to win is to play the same deck I played last month, and it's the same situation, and I had a 90% win rate with that. It's likely I will again because there's not nobody's got anything better.
So hopefully we'll change that, right? With the weekly cards, it's going to change every week as opposed to every month. So every week there's going to be 3 new cards that come out that could shake up the meta. And then we're going to make balance changes probably every 2 weeks, realistically. And so you're going to see changes essentially 6 times a month, right? And then whenever the expansions come out. So at first, the first expansion is tough, but once we figure out basically our process, I think we'll be able to make expansions faster.
So with these new cards, what happens if you release you release three and the top card costs 700 credits like the paragons do now, and it turns out to be game breaking, turns out to be whoever has that card wins, and it creates a huge divide between the people who can afford that card and the people who can't. I mean, odds are that won't happen because there's already a huge divide between the top half of the meta and everyone else. Or not even that. I mean, the top 3% of the meta and everyone else.
Exactly. Yeah. So the guys that you guys at the top 100, you're really playing a different game because there's basically at this point, thousands and thousands of players above, and they're playing in their own, and the top 100 kind of plays with those top what is it 4 5 decks, right? More or less.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, yeah, essentially.
Well, again, our overall balance is still looking pretty good in terms of overall faction use, overall faction win rate, overall cards. There are a few cards, like again, like overextend that we have changed, but it just didn't.
The win rate, your analytics bear out that the win rate of overextend is ridiculous.
No, no, it's not ridiculous. Nothing is ridiculous, but we do want to change it. So sometimes you want to change something because the analytics show that it's more, gives you a higher than we want win rate, right? We want everything to be at 50% in the ideal world. All factions, 50%, all cards. Uh, Adding a card to the deck will neither help you or make you worse off, right? That's the ideal world, but that's not the case. And so sometimes when you add a card to the deck, it will
No
say,
one's gonna play a 50% win rate deck.
no, no, no. That's what we want. That's the ideal matchmaking, right? It's you win one, you lose one. But the whole point is striving for that. We as a game developers have to always try to give each player as close to that as possible, and it's the job of the player to then figure out how to get in that 10%, 5%, 1%, top 100, top 50, etc. Because it's never going to be perfect for everybody, and that's how the best players come out. So that's kind of how it is. Yeah, and that's expected pro Panda. That's what everybody wants in all Dotas, all competitive games. The designer's job is to get it as close as possible to 50-50 for on average. But it's obviously not ever going to happen, but they always try to strive for it. So I think with these new cars that come out, the point is not to make them game breaking, right? We don't want to do that. But the point is to add new ways of building new and interesting decks. So just something to build a deck around, or maybe to complement the deck. And then maybe as we do first week and then second week, now that's 6 cards, third week, 9 cards. So there's quite a bit of variation that we could do.
So let me ask you something a little different. Do I understand correctly that uh, the majority of new players and the majority of people online at any given time are playing casual? Is that correct?
Yeah, so that's also it's a big thing, and that's not just for our game. That's how it is for everybody. So for you and me, that's hard to understand because we like to get into the competitive games and get into it right away. But more people play casual than ranked in our game and in pretty much any other game where both of those modes are given.
I mean, this is problematic to me. I mean, A, it's hard to understand because, like you said, we like to jump in. But these people are missing something and they complain. Because if you're where I am on the ladder, if you're, I'm in the absolute top echelon of players. It's true, I'm not Imperator, but I'm the 22nd highest ranked player in the game right now.
All right.
So if if I want to try something new and I don't want to risk my position on ladder, I go to casual. But I have every card in the game. So all these new players have to face me and they come away with the impression that they must be bad or that everyone has better cards than them. Where
Right.
if they played ranked, they would be matched with people who have comparable decks to them and would be set at an appropriate skill level. They would not come away with that impression.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, we definitely want to encourage people to play ranked, and we do. And I wouldn't say that people just play casual or just play ranked, but I think more casual games take place than ranked games overall. But I think players play both modes. It's just they tend to play casual a little bit more than ranked.
Well, I mean, again, I'm at a point in matchmaking where it's hard for me to find someone. It won't match me to someone below about 14 right now.
Well, why don't we have you play a couple games while we're on the stream? Let's see what we're gonna find at this top level of play.
If you want, sure, I'll play a few while we're talking. Uh, I'm happy to do that. Let me turn the game sounds way, way down.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing this expletively named Anunnaki screen
Let's
buff
see it.
deck. This is
Let's
one of
see
the
it.
decks I'm telling you I think is ridiculous. My favorite
Gotcha.
deck, by the way, is still my a deck I invented. That the only person I know I've seen play it is Mont, who found it interesting because he was playing with a similar idea finally. But this is a deck idea I came up with. You might remember 4 months ago. I saw Vengeful Outcast. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
nobody's using Vengeful
I
Outcast.
remember.
I've got to make a Vengeful Outcast deck. And this deck, I must say, is still a winning deck. It is not always winning, but it's still very, very good, and it's a not used idea, which I think is very cool. But okay, this is a deck. This is the deck that's essentially got me to the position I'm in on the ladder, and I would say it has 85% win rate easily.
Let's check it out. The questionable screens deck from the Anunnaki. So that one already was supposed to be bumped to 8 energy. Um, the one that you're using um,
Eight
instead of
energy
5.
would slow it
8.
down a little bit, but
And also its cost is going to be 1 instead of 0, so the opponent gets some energy back. Sorry, it's cost displayed. It still doesn't cost you anything to play it.
okay, so the key thing is you always mulligan for a combat engineer and a sentry drone. This is the key. This is like an ideal hand. The Phoenix Fighter, the
Got
combat
that. Yeah.
engineer,
Okay, let's take a look.
the Phoenix Fighter, the combat engineer, and the sentry drones, and a field commander. It's hard to imagine losing with this hand, and especially since this is a mobile player. Ah,
Poor guy.
poor guy. He may not even know what's about to come to his face. So you combat engineer and you're gonna coin the sentry drones.
Yeah, that actually looks. No, that's not a starter deck. So he's a 15, rank 15. So that's That is actually very, very high in terms of the overall player base. Very few people actually get beyond 25, 20, 15.
Control pattern optimized.
Okay, so you can see already here on turn 2, I'm in a massive advantage. Like, turn 2 of the game, I have a massive advantage. I'm 4 energy, I'm 1 energy from a second shield. He's going to do that. It's not enough. That's not enough to change the state of the game. So now it's turn 3. I have a choice. I can field commander and buff my screen and buff the screen that's about to come in. Or I could Phoenix Fighter and buff it next turn. I think, and again, against firepower Terrans, you have to position your cards. You have to understand how the... If you've never played Firepower Terran, you must go look at the Terran Firepower cards and understand the explosion patterns of them in order to... so you don't want to attack first, you want to play the Field Commander first to get the buff. That gives you the 1 energy you need. You play another shield. Okay, so now I'm at a insane board advantage. I would say this is already a 1 game. It's turn...
Oh, hey, can you share your screen? Because I'm looking at it I'm behind your commentary. I'm getting most of it, but if you share your screen on Skype, then I'll be up to date. If you can do that without breaking everything. Because
you should have it now.
All right, yeah, I have it. Sweet. Did I speak too early? Oh, man. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. So Skype. Skype. It's the bane of my professional existence.
So, I mean, the dream here would be to have another field commander, but I don't. But I'm going to get huge value from killing this. I'm going to get enough energy from killing this to get another screen up.
Hostile forces detected.
So, and that's why that's changing to 8. The Acolyte. Yeah, that's looking pretty dominant.
No, there is no card in Shanty that can stop this situation. Yes, Pro Panda, that's true. So as you can see, the game has not even begun by most standards.
Yes, Pro Panda, you can definitely gain energy based on the cost of the unit.
A lot of people resign when they see this board situation.
Well, that doesn't look good. I mean, what could he play at this point with 5 supply?
Catastrophic failure.
And it's like, do I care that he just did that? No. That doesn't even affect me. And now I just drew my Void Probe. I only have 1 in the deck, but this is the ultimate utility card in this situation. And I'm going to get enough energy from going face to put up another screen.
It's just too cheap. It's just far too cheap.
What I'd like to do, I think I'm going to Falcon Scout and try to get another Field Commander. Which I didn't. I got the Arms Merchant, who's ridiculous in this deck. Absolutely ridiculous in this deck. How many cards do I have on the board? But you can see, even if you make this 8, it would slow it down a little bit, but I'd still be very close to a dream situation here.
And so that's kind of what I'm talking about. So if we make the balance changes every 2 weeks on the dot, because sometimes we make sporadic changes. Sometimes we'll take 10 units or 10 cards. Sometimes we'll do 2. Now we want to do 50, So we want to get it to a point where we're just calmly changing every 2 weeks, tweaking ever so slightly. And because we've got energy, that's too little, too late.
Yeah, way too little, too late. I mean, what he's just being naive to not resign. I mean, or a good sport, He's
Right.
being a good sport. Now,
So now you can actually buff.
what I would
Oh,
do I have
sorry.
lethal on board? Yeah, I do. So if I didn't have lethal on board, I would sacrifice one of these screens and play Arms Merchant and win.
Yep. Okay, well, that was a rank 15. Let's see if we can match up to someone else. So you've got nothing but supports in this whole deck, and you got the +1 health to screens, and then you've got the Acolyte for 5. And you're waiting for your buffers to go for the kill, right?
You don't even need them, really, but it helps a lot, sure. But basically everything that's, I mean, it's got Field Commander, Arms Dealer, Duskwind Guerrillas, Combat Engineers. I mean, you want to see the deck itself. With Combat Engineers, Falcon Scouts to get what you need, Draga's Cohorts in case they try to mount an offensive against you, Arsenal Dropship, Duskwind Guerrillas, Field Commander, Freelance Techs, Arms Merchants, 1 Emissary in case you're in trouble, 1 Tokoloy in case you're in trouble, 1 Void Probe in case you're in trouble, and the rest of the deck is supports and things that buff supports. It's a screen deck, and there's only 2 screens in it.
You have no tactics in the whole...
No tactics.
Look at the units. I want to see how many supports if you hover over the unit number, 25.
25 cards, and are they all supports? I think the only thing that's not a support is Tokoloy and Emissary.
Hover over the little main icon, 25 to the right of the tactic, and then I'll tell you how many units of each. 23 supports. So 23 supports, 2 general, no tactics. It was a brutal deck.
And the Glimmer Fields themselves are supports.
Yeah, well, yeah, we did that on purpose, but interesting. So you're getting very high kill rate.
Yeah, I mean, this is meta. The only meta deck that is very competitive against this is super aggressive overextend. The decks that beat it otherwise are unexpected decks, or someone who gets a very good hand. I played somebody who had a very expensive Terran deck, and he was able to block me out with the 2 Terran Paragons. He was able to create an unbeatable situation that way. So here, like, I would like to keep the Phoenix Fighter, but it's
Who are we playing against? It's a War Master with only 1 base module of the Anunnaki. That's rank 6.
Well, he's obviously Psychic Charge, right? So
Yeah,
it
but
didn't.
no other
In
modules,
this
so-
case, I did not get the Sentry Drone.
What's
No-
he using the energy for? He's trying to stockpile energy, but what is he going to use it for?
Yeah,
Probably
that is
power
very.
creep
He
or
may not.
something?
So this is going to be an interesting game. We're actually at a slight disadvantage. The one thing this deck does not have is any source of card draw. Okay, so this guy's playing
No, you got
heavy
that-
control.
You got 1 combat scout.
This guy's playing heavy control. I think my best move right now is to Void Probe my own Stormer to get the
and just
game
get
rolling
into it.
again.
Yep.
Deactivating enemy systems.
Because you gotta come through 40 points of health, at least. And what to do here? Screen up or?
Yeah, now you play the screen and you're gonna hit face and get a second screen.
Patrol pattern optimized.
Right. Yeah, that extra point of health is really cool. We're gonna do more modules like that are like dependent on specific situations and specific abilities.
Okay, so he stole the Void Probe, which is meaningless to me. And now Draga's Cohort is becoming insanely powerful. I have the option of I can either freelance tech here, or I can Draga's Cohort.
You want to maybe wait for Draga's Cohort for the kill, or are you not gonna get more than 2 attack buff from it anyway?
Well, the thing is there's still two
But
screens on the board.
right.
It's not likely he's going to. Well, I'm gonna have to use one of the screens to kill.
Are you gonna clear the board?
I tend to clear the board, yeah, because especially in a situation like this where he's playing heavy control, I need to control him too. Because he has so much health, playing straight aggro against him is not to my advantage. He'll go through both my screens if I don't clear him out myself.
Hit it.
So I would probably Draga's cohort the screens. I would trade the Stormer into the...
You got 5 seconds. Wait, attack face first.
Yeah, hit face first is right.
Face.
Oh, I missed my...
Yeah. So that's another thing. So we made the timer shorter, but now I think we may have overdone it, and we made it too short now. So we're gonna try to make it adjustable. Like it gets longer and longer, basically later on in the game.
You're not gonna find a better deal.
Feel the bites of the serpent god.
So now I've got arms dealer. I'm still in a very winning position. I've taken no damage yet. So, and obviously I've got enough for another screen. His screen is no threat.
First.
I think another interesting thing is that Emissary, of course, does not affect the buffs from Arms Merchant or Draga's cohort. So I can reduce all of his attack power against me without reducing mine.
Interesting. So
now he's very, very weak, and I'm not. Obviously, I have to get this screen off the board, but this really doesn't hurt me.
what does he have in those 4 cards of his? Probably another pacify in there.
He has to kill the arms dealer, and he can't. So... Okay, that was smart, but it's also the end for him because I have another arms dealer.
You're not gonna
I have another screen, which now has 4 attack,
Wow.
and I
Wait,
think
why does it have 4 attack?
because there's 2 arms dealers on the board.
Ah, of course.
I'm gonna buff the oh, I can't buff the emissary, so I'm going to buff I don't want to lose a unit, so I'm gonna buff this arms dealer to take out the terror. Actually, I should just go face.
Maybe
Really,
just go face. Face is the place.
in that case, I'm gonna play Arsenal dropship.
Civilizations fall. This is not our way.
Oh, this guy's impatient. I see. Oh, poor guy.
Civilizations fall while
Oh, I'm sorry. You're impatient at losing to me. Hey, Nickel Licker. Wow, Mass Zeal. But see, even with that, he can't really do enough to me for it to matter. Okay, it takes out the arms dealers. Good for him. But that leaves him with 1 unit with 1 health. Which I can easily take care of. I've got another screen. I can freelance tech the Arsenal dropship just to kill his Terrazin destroyer.
I'll make it sing for you.
Oh no.
civilizations
Nice
fall
swap out.
while we wait. This is not our way. Civilizations fall while we wait.
Oh, why did you want to play it right now.
Civilizations
Let's go for the kill next
while
time.
we wait.
In this situation, I just feel like there's so little he can do against a full board.
Thinking maybe he doesn't have modules, or he didn't. He decided not to put any neutral modules. He's got 40 energy, and it's
You're
not doing
obsolete.
anything with it.
You're obsolete.
So I've won. Chess play better, says Gearchex. Gearchex was the one who told me to play this deck. So, I mean, do you require further demonstration of this deck?
No, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. But I want to see. Well, I mean, that's a War Master. Can we see where he was on the ranks? I mean, I think he was even. He's got to be higher than you on the top 100, right? Well, not anymore.
Well, this takes a little while to update. He was 6. He was 15, and I was 22.
Interesting.
And now I should move up. I should be now at least 15 when this updates. I'm going to jump up because I just made 6. So that's an example of a deck that's just too good. I mean, why is this rank 6 player not using any modules? I don't know. He's playing pure control. Why did he want energy when he had no way to spend energy? Oh, he had those energy cards. Those cards.
No, but isn't that Conduit Warden, if you have less energy, gain health?
I don't know. I've never played the card.
It's pretty big health, 5 health recovery. Let me find it. Take a look. If you have, less energy. It's a good card, good control card.
But why? I mean, so this guy's top 15 player, and he's playing modules that don't make sense.
Yeah.
So maybe he's playing a bad deck. Who knows?
All right, let's do another one.
Really?
What other decks do you have?
Really, that's the only one I've been playing. I don't even have an overextend Merc or a face Hadgergog because I play my. If I'm not just playing the power rank, I mean, Argonine and Gearchex told me this was the most dominant deck, and so I played it. And
The screen, the support, a glimmer plus.
yeah,
screen?
that it has the best win rate. And
It's good. It looks real good.
yeah, of course, once I post this video, everyone's gonna build the deck.
Well, that's what we want in a way. It's already getting changed. I think next week, Monday or Tuesday, the changes are going to come through. I'm wondering if the 8 energy is enough to keep this one in check.
Well,
But
it'll
that's-
slow it down.
That's the thing with energy. What I like about energy is we're going to use it more and more in the future. Is that it allows for much finer level of tweaking. So there's only so much you can do with balancing cards in terms of health, attack, and supply cost. But
There,
with
now
energy,
I'm
5,
16th,
8.
so I jumped up to just below him.
See this 17, that's our lead client-side developer who's on vacation now. So he rose from like 1,000 to 17th.
He's a very good player. I've played again. I've lost to him more than anyone else, actually.
He's good. He's good, and he he's just been looking forward to playing because, like me, he hasn't had a chance to play because we've been working on the game. But yeah, I'm just interested to see what kind of matchups we get in the top 100. And so, the first guy we played, who was he? The first guy. The second guy was Anunnaki. Was the first guy also Anunnaki?
No, he was Shanti.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see is what happens in the top 100. Because I haven't been there in a while. I know. It's because
I
don't
haven't,
think we-
I've been away from ranking up in this game during these last, while I was waiting for significant changes and balance to the game. But, I mean, I have the advantage of my collection, and B, I have, let's see, according to Steam, I have played 366 hours of Star Crusade on Steam.
That's good stuff.
So I have a little experience with the game. But that's not why I'm at this rank. I'm at this rank because viewers told me what deck destroys everybody, and I played it. Really, if I was just playing my own decks for fun, I wouldn't be here. I'm here
Right.
because I'm playing an overpowered deck.
All right. Well, we'll keep tweaking it. So next week you'll see the changes to this and some other stuff. And within 2-3 weeks, we want to see those new cards coming in. And of course, we're working on all these other platforms simultaneously, making sure that we get rid of, fix any issues that we come across.
Yeah, I'll call it as I am a good card game player. The first season of RuneScape Chronicles, I finished 60th in the world. I have been Imperator and top 100 in this game a lot of times when I play it. I'm a good card game player. I am not a great card game player, though. I'm just a good card game player. I mean, people watch me stream card games. I must be good enough to watch, but I'm not a top card game player, and I don't think that I am. It's a lot of manipulating the meta, and Alex and I have talked a bit about Elder Scrolls Legends, which we've both played. I always talk to him about new games that are out because I'm interested in his ability to develop this game, and obviously looking at other games is a way to get ideas and to balance your own game. And you can't unmute again.
There, I've done it somehow.
There you are. You're back.
Help me.
But what's going on in Legends is that it's an unstable meta. There are decks that win a lot, but it's constantly unclear what the best deck is. And they've not been changing cards. They've not been nerfing or buffing anything. And it remains unclear what the best deck is. And that's very good. And without talking about anything else, good or bad about the game, that aspect of it is desirable in any CCG. There was a long time in Hearthstone where Face Hunter was considered,
Right.
Yeah, Toron, they have the analytics. But as Alex is saying, what he doesn't have is a large sample of top 100 games of seeing what the very top of the ladder is doing.
Well, we can dig into it. It's just, you always want to balance for both, right? Very competitive players, and in fact, more so the higher competitive players than just the casual players, just because the players at the top, they have a better understanding of the game. And so you want to kind of lean towards them and have everybody else just sort of take their lead. But yeah, no, I can get into it and I can pull up the data for top 100. I just haven't done it in,
Yeah, and
basically
you can
like-
sit and observe those games too if you wanted to spend the time, or you could pay someone to do that, obviously.
Well, again, we have the statistics, but I just wanted to see it firsthand, launch, get into it, see who we come up against. So I want to see how often. I like to play against the crazy overextend merc, because it's challenging in a different way, but I know it can be frustrating for some players also.
Well, it's a big difference playing against it with a 40-card deck than with a 25-card deck.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
the consensus is the deck that has the best win rate against this Anunnaki deck is the Overextend deck.
Oh, against the Anunnaki deck, your screen deck?
Yeah. Because you're trying to control the field and it just keeps filling your hand with these Overextend cards.
All right, let's do a little duel action. I have to dust off some of my decks here. Oh, and I think I have it turned on in Russian. I gotta change it because I don't know the card names too well.
So you guys, Alex plays the game in Russian.
I
What if-
actually play it in Japanese, you guys. Truth be told. Have you tried it, by the way, to run it like in Japanese or French or something?
Why would I do that?
Because it sounds awesome. You should definitely run it in Japanese and check it out.
I guess for the sound effects. Yeah, I mean, I know all the... I mean, and for my own decks, I know the deck. I don't need to see the card names.
Exactly. But
You-
in fact, you should.
Okay,
Should
let's...
switch it to Japanese and just play me in Japanese.
Okay, we're going to play in Japanese.
So you gotta quit the game and change it in Steam library settings, in the Star Crusade settings. Because the Steam doesn't let us change the language from within the game. And meanwhile, I'm going to check which deck I'm gonna play with. Oh yeah, all right, I found it.
Star Crusade in Japanese.
Here we go. So just challenge. I'll challenge you because you don't know what to press to challenge me in Japanese.
Yeah, you're correct in thinking I can't read Japanese.
Here we go. But make sure to raise the sound effects. Alcalitos, you also like to play against Overextend. That's awesome because it just feels like a challenge and it feels like you have to do non-standard things. So I just like anything like that. That's why I also like to play Anunnaki that zero out my units because I have to just be careful with it. Okay. Nope, that doesn't look like sound. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to, meanwhile, when you're ready, I'm going to challenge you, and I think, I don't know which button you should press.
I guess we'll find out. Wow. I don't know what any of these mean.
Okay, did you get the invite?
Yeah.
Just remember which one.
Let's try the leftmost button. That was it. That was it.
Sweet, all right, let's do it. Yeah, there's three choices, I think: accept, decline, and block. All right, here we go. I don't remember. This, okay. This is my old 37 consortium control. Old and strange. Oh, by the way, did you get a chance to play with any of the neutral modules?
I was using one in my Hydra Gog deck actually.
The Phoenix Fighter. No way I can get through that with shelling or anything. Okay, let's just do this. Hit and run tactics is also getting changed because it's a little too powerful as it is.
天才よついてこい
That's pretty nice, right?
The sound effects are great. It's like watching a horrible anime.
Yeah. Okay, that worked. You gotta watch your energy use.
気合を入れて栄光をつかめ
Oh, didn't use your module, huh?
I couldn't.
Oh, that's right. It was too early. What to do? What to do? How about this? Get that card advantage.
I thought Spy Network cost 4.
Spy Network 3 and so 4, and I lose a supply, which is what happened. I should probably put a unit out instead. I don't know, we'll see. Of course, the field commander. Thank you.
Oh no! That's not what I wanted to happen.
Mr. Glimmer. He's gonna go face. Face is the place. No problem. No problem at all.
I can't read the text of the card.
Oh, that's right. Of course it did.
What does this do? I don't know.
Yep. Okie dokie. Did you just say that, or did they?
No, I made that up. That's not real Japanese.
That's pretty awesome. Japanese to me. Like that. And like this. And the strap. Alright. Just make sure you don't use your module again, or I'm gonna buff more stuff.
Hey, how about you eat a dick? How about that?
How many arms merchants you got now? No problem. It's not a problem. Or is it a problem? Maybe it's a problem. It's a bit of a problem. So 2, 3, and 5.
This is pretty hilarious.
What?
I think I'm going to play in Japanese from now on.
I'm telling you, that's the way to go. 2, 3, 2.
Mobility armored. I remember this guy. I have no idea what that means, but it was brilliant.
I'm telling you. So that's why localization is a big deal. We're gonna do 5 more languages if time permits. Jesus. Jesus. And somehow I have no energy. I don't understand how I have no energy. Okay. And the glimmers cost nothing, so they don't, of course. So,
I've got you now, Mr. Rishevsky.
and I think you do have me. So many of these. Wow, I can't figure out this math. There's too much math to figure out. So this guy gives everyone +1 +1.
You hear that, everyone? First officer doesn't understand math.
Hold on. So this guy already takes the damage. And then this guy. I can't get through all these
Of course you can't.
There's no time to lose now. Okay, so that's it. So it's like that. Like that.
戦場で死ぬつもりだったんだ
Like that.
戦闘
I'm
で
dead.
す。キュリアス。Nip.
You were, yeah. See, that was not enough time for me to figure that math out.
That's because you're bad at math.
It could be, but that high control decks, yeah, I could have used more time. I could have done that better for sure. All right, I guess this is it, right? This is the kill. 10 HP. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
よく見
Watch
てお
this,
きな
baby. Oh, that guy's gonna die. At the end of your turn. See ya. Holy Jesus.
Yeah, deal with that.
See ya. Why didn't he die? Wait, what? Okay, well, I mean, all right, let's do the math. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. Okay, so I can kill.
Listen to first officer's thought process, everyone.
Hold on, just give me a second.
It's
all
like
right?
a 4-year-old playing CCG.
All right, so look at this. So I'm gonna discharge 12. So you're gonna take 2 damage ever. All right, so that clears it all out. And this guy, for some reason, he didn't take damage, even though he should have. Oh no. Okay, so the freelance tech's gonna die. I'm gonna buff him. This guy's gonna die, but how? So I have to. What the hell is going on? I can't figure out the math. Are they all gonna die? I can't tell. All right, so this guy's gonna die. It's not funny, man.
You made a game that's too complicated for you to figure out.
Oh man, what? My turn wasn't over. What happened?
I don't know. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, man, I hooked it up. I think you're done, bro.
Oh, you think that, do
I
you?
ran out of time. I really need to bump this timer out. I don't know about you guys, but this is too little time. Oh boy. What's going on? What did you just do? Oh no, not to the Tokoloi. Okay, that's fine. It's nothing. Don't even phase me. No, I'm just kidding, man. That phases me. That actually phases me in a big way. So I'm gonna another discharge. Another discharge does not sound good. So that's 2 and 1. Carry the 1.
Wow, brutal.
You're still alive though, right?
I actually have taken no damage.
You've taken no damage this whole game, man. All right. Well, I don't know that you got the juice to keep pressing.
あなたに平穏の訪れんことを
久しぶりのシャバだ
この船にも銃があったの
I'm just gonna hope for the face. Oh, you've emissaryed out. That's fine. It's so good. So 1, 2. Yeah.
まだ望みはあるわ
Yeah.
Biomonger is a problem.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm
I wrote
decked.
it all the way down to 5 HP.
I'm decked out.
Yeah. Barely put it together. No, that should be it. Boom. 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 Okay, the biomonger comes in time. I like that you just don't surrender, huh? Refuse to surrender, eh? I also am thinking of what to do with the Rapid Strike team and the Autovec guys, because they seem to be an auto-include in a lot of decks.
Certain types of decks, face decks, yeah. I mean, the mobility units.
Mobility is a dangerous thing.
Well, but it's true in all CCGs. The charge effect, as it's generally called, is incredibly powerful. I don't know which button is surrender, so.
So you're just gonna have to fight on. Yeah, so pulled it out. GG. By the skin of.
No GG to you.
No GG, sir.
You played poorly. I don't read Japanese. I'm pretty sure this says I won.
Yeah, I haven't tried the French localization yet.
I can read French, so that's not a problem.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm reading some of these reviews on Steam. Oh, man, that's great. I went back to your stream and I saw the Whoa, Kaido. That means defeat in Japanese. And so I'm reading some of the reviews, and they're generally positive, but a lot of times if people first start playing and they quit in 10 minutes, then they say, oh, that's it. I don't know. You don't have anything new. I'm out. And they give us a bad review, which kind of sucks if they just give it another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have friends, they're guys I know who I've been gaming with over long periods of time, and after a while I gravitate away from them because no matter what they play, they focus on what they don't like about the game. And
Right.
after a while I'm like, hey, but there's, or they're like, this is impossible. I can't win. Like, but I've been playing it for 2 years and I win all the time. Like, what do you mean you can't win? Like, and it's just like after a while you just stop. You're like, okay, I don't need to tell you about gaming anymore. You're just obviously you have your opinion, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are people of that mindset. Like, I'll give this 10 minutes. Especially that's how they treat free to play games. If they paid $50 for that game, there's no way they'd play it for 10 minutes and give up.
Right. Yeah, I like. There's one review yesterday. They said, "Hey, why don't you just make the game $50 or $40 or $30, and that's it. Just no buying packs, no nothing. Just available to all." And the problem is the reason people don't do that is because you don't get the downloads. Then you're not gonna get a 5% of the player base with that type of approach.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I personally, obviously, I'm the outlier. But if somebody said, "Hey, you $50, you get the entire card set," I'd do that. It's like Smite. I don't even play Smite, very rarely. But they offered, I don't know if they still offer it, but a long time ago, it was $30. You could have every champion or every god ever, forever. You'd never have to buy a god.
right.
Okay. Every time I go back to that game, I've got all the content that's been released. I don't.
Oh, ever. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I paid $30 during their beta period, and I've gotten every god that's ever been released, and they release one a month. So it means if I don't play for 6 months, I log back in. I've got, So I mean, it's like infinite value. I don't know if they still offer that package, but I'm the kind of gamer who will go for that. Smite's free to play also.
Right. I think it's just ultimately the problem for us is lowering the barrier to entry, especially on mobile platforms, and we're going to be expanding a lot on them.
Well,
We want the game to
there's
be
also the
free.
economic model of CCGs is that to get the entire collection costs much more than $50.
Oh yeah. The way it's set up, of course, and I think that's any CCG. That's just in general. The aspect of collectible part of it is also a lot of fun as you build your collection, and we definitely want to give you more ways to build your collection than just grinding out the missions or paying for the packs. So we'll be introducing stuff like campaigns that are single player and strategy. What are they called? Basically, like situational game mode where we give you the screen and you have to figure out what to do. Like for instance, like playing Zeal appropriately is sometimes hard to calculate, and just getting a one turn kill, for instance, in a given situation. Yeah, $40-50 is a great deal, not for the CCG. Yeah, I mean the economics of it is not a lot of people end up buying, but that's in all free to play games, and that's okay. So as long as we have plenty of ways for people to progress, as long as they want to put in the time and play the game, then I think that's fine.
So I'm curious. I mean, I know I'm the outlier. I'm in your top 1% of dollars spent on this game, but
I could look it up right now, actually.
I'm
There's
curious. I'm just
It's-
curious, like, what percent of people will spend any money?
It's usually it's under 5%. It's usually way under 5% for most free-to-play games. For most free-to-play games, around 1 to 2%, and that's approximately where we are as well. So, and that's why when people come and write in the forums about how I get into the game and then I'm play against these people that are obviously pay to win, and then the the analytics just don't support that, right? Because 1 out of every 100 people actually paid, and 99 didn't pay. So what are the chances that you're playing against someone who paid versus didn't pay?
Right, and this
And so-
comment,
so-
this whole complaint about CCGs ever being pay to win is ludicrous because these all originate from Magic the Gathering, which is 100% pay to win.
100%.
You can't even play Magic the Gathering without spending money. You
Right, exactly. You cannot at all. Yeah. So that's an example of pay to play, I guess. And this is free to play. And so if you want, you could just play. And
Yeah,
the thing
I mean,
is,
if people come in the stream and say, "Is this free to play or pay to win?"
Right.
and I'm like, "Well, I don't think those are mutually exclusive concepts. It's free to play. It's pay to get. You can pay with your time or you can pay with your dollars. Like,
that's all it is. So in good competitive games, that's all it is. You pay with time or you pay with dollars. And if you like the game, paying with time should be fun anyway. And that's the whole point.
yeah, for me personally, I like to pay with dollars so that the time I pay the payment I make with time, I get the most out of.
Yeah, and actually, we're gonna do. I was talking about this like maybe 4 months ago, but we are gonna do a subscription, optional subscription model, where we will just offer you more boosters than you would get if you were just to play for it and do missions, but less boosters than if you were to pay for them right away. Just buy, $50 worth of boosters or $70. or
I've
what have
seen
you.
that in games. I don't know, I don't think other devs would share with you their data on how successful those models are, but I have definitely seen that in both Spellweaver has that as a CCG, and Gems of War, which is made by the Puzzle Quest developers, offers that for a couple of their currencies, and those options haven't gone away, so they must be selling them.
Yeah, it's just an additional way for people to interact with the game that on a level that's convenient for them. Because you either have a lot of time or you put in money to the game. But what if you have more time than, like for instance, I have no time to play at all. So someone that has maybe half an hour to play or an hour to play, but yet they want to open more boosters, they might choose the subscription option because it's much cheaper than just buying the boosters right away.
You say
but
to
it's also-
yourself, especially you go, how much do I make it work per hour?
So what's an hour of my gaming time worth? And I mean, you this is people don't understand this really. This is it's strange in a capitalist society, America at least,
Right.
which where we pride ourselves on being capitalist society, whether we actually are or not. That people don't understand that your time is worth what you value it at. So, if you're somebody who makes $50,000 a year, your time is worth $25 an hour. Period. That's a fact. If you work a 40-hour work week, you work 2,000 hours a year, you make $50,000, your time is literally worth $25 an hour. So, are you willing to spend 2 hours worth of work in money to make your 2 hours of gaming more valuable? Are you willing to spend what you earn an hour on your entertainment? And to me, my logic is if I get $1 an hour out of a game,
Yeah, I remember your formula.
and
Good
so what
formula.
am I at? I'm at 366 hours of Star Crusade.
You're good. You're good. You're over your formula.
I'm at least even. I don't know, but so the people just don't do this sort of time value calculation for themselves. And-
I love that you're you're still in Japanese localization.
But I mean, these are things worth like this casual versus ranked discussion, this time value calculation. These are things like worth posting articles about. Like,
So, the interesting thing on that is, so we're rated, I think, in Steam 76%, and the majority of that 76%, weighing us down, is the comments from way, way back in the day when we just went out early access is, hey, you guys are just Hearthstone. And so we don't get those comments anymore, but they're still in there in the Steam reviews. So, in fact, we were featured on Steam in many countries. You might have seen us actually pop up for your feed right at the top. But because we're 76% and not 90%, for instance, we get probably 3 times less downloads. So we could have 3 times as many people in the game if we were just higher rated, for instance. That's why I usually go and I respond to every review as much as I can. And I say, hey, thanks for giving us a bad review. We appreciate it. But could you play it more than 10 minutes?
I think I mean, you're missing certain demographic of players, but card game players will generally download any free-to-play card game and try it.
Right. Palexov, 650 hours. Nice. That's almost as much as I've spent in the game. I'm at like 800 hours, I think.
Yeah, but most of your time isn't spent playing.
Well, before I played more than now, for sure. It just happened now, 0 time to play. I should get into it, play a quick match. Yeah, maybe I should take like a half a day off or something, just play some Star Crusade. See, that's what, that's Dimitri, the developer, he's on vacation now. And that's why he hasn't had a chance to play it, but now he does.
Wait, you give your brother vacation?
No, it's another Dimitri. Not my brother gets no vacation. You know that this must be. So I'm playing against.
Basel's name is Dimitri.
Yeah. I just queued up against a rank 23, and he also has the screen Acolyte. I think. Oh no, he's got the Acolyte plus Mine Anchor combo, so he doesn't have the +1 on screen.
You could screen. Oh, I can observe you. I can observe you.
Yeah, exactly. You can. I was gonna say because nowadays if you look at the the games, you'll see only a small fraction of the games that are happening because we've got hundreds and hundreds of games happening simultaneously now at all times of day, which is kind of cool.
Then you could screen share to me because you're
No.
not in my game list.
No, but you could just look at my in the friends
Oh, you're
list.
my friend, yeah.
Yep. Although I don't know if you can find me there with your Japanese localization. Let's see. Oh yeah, there I am. Yep.
Oh, you've
I
got a
like
great hand.
I love the Japanese localization. The thing is, yeah, I think quite a lot. There's a lot to think about in with these.
I think you're
I
just,
don't wanna play
based
anything.
on what I was hearing from your brain during that game,
Yeah, 2, 2, 1, 1.
you're
carry
just,
the
you're
one.
out of practice. I mean, I play,
Completely, yeah.
I play 30 hours of CCG a week. It's like, some of it you just go, this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do.
Check it out. Look what I got. Mansions of Madness.
Wow. I wish, if I had people to play board games with, I would buy
Oh
board
no,
games.
it's sealed. It's definitely sealed, and it's staying sealed. Because I don't have time or anyone to play with.
You have a girlfriend and a child.
Yeah, and the Star Crusade to take care of. To baby. Okay, let's do. Oh, he silenced, nullified me. Okay, so I can. Here we go again with the math. Just 2, carry the 1. Oh, I thought I killed myself there. Yeah, we gotta tighten up these effects. Paragons, and we have a lot more effects coming also. The game looks great on. Have you played on the iPhone? Or only on iPad?
No, I haven't. I mean, no reason to.
yeah,
I only play when I'm streaming, so. I do have software to stream from the iPad, and I have a second generation. I have the high quality display, high resolution iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember I was gonna ask you. You should really have an option to disable the sound effect when you're waiting for a game.
Really disable it? It's so soothing.
Yeah,
And
but
also,
if you're
you put
listening to
that-
music or something like that,
okay, gotcha.
it's just like this huge wind tunnel.
Right. True. Okay, let's kill this. What should I do? Again, the math. The math fails me. Of course I missed. Let's just kill it. I like this little control deck.
This is a pretty solid deck.
It's different from what you see out
You
there.
don't see people playing the sentry drones very often.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good card. It's a little high costed.
Oh, look at that.
Well, that's not called sentry drone. I forget what that's
Hunter
called.
Seeker. Hunter Seeker drone.
Hunter Seeker drone.
It's funny that he's got one, I've got one. Okay, here comes the math. So basically, yeah, the point of his deck is everything is tied up around hit and run tactics and damage dealing things. Let's just do this. Forgot to mute my cough for a change there. We got Discharge or Brigands of Arcturus. But Brigands is pretty solid, but Discharge is also solid. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'll do Brigands.
Oh,
in
that's
fact,
strange.
use
You
it
know,
right up-
when you're spectating, you don't get to see someone's Falcon Scout choices.
Oh, the choice. Did you see the selection? I mean, when they chose.
Yeah, I couldn't see that. I was like, what's he talking about?
All right, the animation is gonna deploy. I won't be able to use it again. Damn it.
Yeah, that's not good if the
Yeah,
animation...
No, that's getting fixed in the next update. We already marked it down for specifically for units with mobility that are Paragon. They're gonna get slightly different animations so you can actually use it faster and properly. And also, I am gonna bump up the time back up from 80 to something, maybe 100, and maybe flexible time, more later. Okay, well, I think after this game we're gonna wrap it up. So if you, Chess, have any questions or the chat has any questions, I can be happy to get those now. And I think in the future, as we kind of progress development with updates, we'll come around and just do shorter Q&A sessions just more often. So players can know what's going on while we're still relatively small.
You know, my only question was maybe that you post a hypothetical list of nerfs and buffs and get some community feedback on it. Because there are people who really know what's going on and who will maybe have suggestions you haven't thought of.
Yeah, so I think going forward, I think we'll see how soon we can roll out this big balance change. And if it's soon, then we might just roll it out rather than start a gigantic discussion about it.
Yeah.
But going forward, I think what we might do is we might post it on Steam and we'll say, okay, this is what we're planning on doing. Just in a separate thread.
Yeah,
And it's
I
not
think
gonna
that's a
be
good idea.
Super popular, but I think the people that are that are more involved and are more interested in it, they can start a discussion about it, and we can see maybe draw something from there. So I think that's definitely something we could do.
Viewers, we have about, let's say, 15, 20 minutes max for additional questions for Alex, if you have them. Now's a good time to do a question dump.
Mm-hmm. And going forward, again, we'll try to do this a little more often. They'll be short, but so you can be up to date on what's going on. And we'll get my dream is to do every week, like give you do a stream, push news about it, and then just give a recap on here's what's going on, here's what will be going on. That's not always going to be possible to do. What's my math? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I should have done that the other way around. I don't know why I did it like that. He's gonna paranoia it and immediately clear it out. Right? Nope, I can destroy.
Online growing.
Do you mean is the online community growing? Yeah, I think it's much larger than it was.
Yeah, it's order of magnitudes higher than it was, because now not just Steam, it's a lot on iOS as well. 2, 3 plus 4, 7, not quite enough.
And once it rolls out on Android, hopefully Google will feature it, and that'll be even bigger. Because there's actually more Android phones out there than iOS phones.
You have an Android phone too, Just?
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
mean, there's no affordable iOS phones. There's tons of affordable
Yeah.
Android phones.
True. Yeah, no, Android has a ton more phones, but the thing is, we won't be able to support all of them because the game, first of all, takes a bunch of space and does have some requirements on.
Well, as long as you have a reasonably new phone and an SD slot, you should be fine.
Yeah. And
Like
again, so
this-
the population is going to be growing in the
This
months
phone
ahead.
here, I'm sure we'll be able to run the game. This is a Galaxy Grand Prime. This is not an S7 this is not a top of the line Galaxy. This is about a $200 Samsung phone. And it runs the latest version of Android. I can play Hearthstone on it. I can play Gems of War on it. I'm sure I can play Star Crusade. And it has an SD expansion slot. Like, this is a very, you can't get an iPhone for this price. And I'll be able to play Star Crusade on it. That was not an advertisement for Samsung.
Well, yeah, I look forward to seeing how it runs on your phone. It should run well on that one. Oh my God, what just happened? Glimmerfield?
We're just taking last questions for Alex. If anybody has anything further, if you're just returning to the stream, if you're just joining us.
Yeah, as you can see, this stream is more conversational because I don't have time to actually plan and prepare all of the update lists for you guys. But going forward, we'll get that a little more organized. And I think going forward, we definitely can present the balance changes that we're planning to do. I think that'll help. This guy's just refusing to go down. Oh, we gotta kill this guy, too. I guess we have to nullify him. Yep.
There he goes again. Why is Raid so hard? Do I just need to get good? Yeah, I mean, draft format is usually difficult. It takes a lot of knowledge of all the cards in the game.
Mr. Chess?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm having one problem after another.
Yeah, you blamed it on Belarus before.
Yeah, but now I'm sitting in San Francisco with brand new insane speed Wi-Fi that just completely crapped out on me. Let's see if I can get back into the game. Oh man, things are not looking good here. Because I skipped a turn. I think I'm gonna play some game after this. Civilizations fall while we wait. While we linger.
Hey, there he is.
My apologies, good sir. Let's do it like... I guess I could save it.
You have such a huge card advantage right now.
This you think is pretty much in the bag?
I think, unless he has prophetic visions.
Emissary is not good for me right now. But yeah, I think it's over pretty much because we're equal health. I think that's it. It's time to party. Oh, look at this. Behold, I will use the Conduit Warden. Alright, I think that'll do it. We should surrender at this point. It's got 4, 7, 11, 14, 17.
This guy's a fighter. This guy's a fighter.
To the end. I'm not gonna deploy my double bombardiers. That's it, he gave up. Alright, that does it, ladies and gentlemen. That's GG. I'm gonna try to mess around with this deck, see how far I can get. It's definitely slow. It's a lot slower than, for instance, your 25 screen deck. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, Chess, thank you very much for your time again. It's a pleasure to continue this historic partnership.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chess Peaceface and Star Crusade. It's also really good to see you back in the game after the release. That was it's a lot of fun. We'll make sure to keep the content flowing and shake up the meta to make sure that you guys stay with us and keep on having fun. And the most important thing for us is, since we always like to keep the dialogue going, just go to Steam, go to any of our social networking, just write stuff. Steam has pretty much gotten to be the best place right now to write about balance, about issues, about whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't. I enjoy your game. I think it's got a lot of great stuff. I mean, for me, the biggest issue is at present there's just way more Russian Twitch viewers than English.
So that's been changing. So now if I look at the stats, actually, for the first time, we have more American players than Russian players. And let me make sure you take a look at that. I just had it loaded up. So it is now, America is in the lead, USA. Yep, and then the second is Russia, and the third is Japan, in that order. So right now there should be more Twitch viewers and
Sure, but I mean, it goes. Most people who speak English do not understand Russian, and
Right.
although Mont has never left the game, and Mont is an excellent streamer, he always has double the viewers that I have, which means
Yeah,
that
true,
there's not the English-speaking Twitch viewers.
Right.
Because I mean, I'm a higher ranked player than him.
I know.
If people could understand what I was saying, you'd think they might watch. So,
Well, I think also, as we're going to promote more and more streamers as we go forward, so I think the English community, yeah, it will also grow. I think, a lot of the Russian guys have been in here from the beginning, right? So they're sort of veterans of Star Crusade. I'm from Bulgaria, Palexov.
yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
and
you gotta
Mont,
get more your Bulgarian friends to play with us, Mr.
Mont has been
Palexov.
very consistent, and he does. Mont understands English, but I'll say something in English, he'll answer me in English, and then he'll just immediately go back to speaking Russian, and
Of
the
course, yeah, 'cause
entire chat is
everybody
in
his
Russian.
channel is speaking Russian. Actually, I'm gonna try to see if he's still available. I'd tell those guys at least hello, because they. I've been also promising them for a long time that I'd come on and say some stuff, but I don't really have. We got a lot of stuff planned, but it'll take a couple of weeks to roll it out. I actually want more of those cards to go into your hands and those balance changes, and I want to see what happens.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
I
I'm
think
excited
people
for.
are hungry for information, and in terms of building hype and building, information about what's going on with your game, it can't hurt you to keep people informed. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
we got to remember to do that. All right, Chess, my friend. Thanks again. Thanks for
Thank
inviting
you.
me to the stream.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, Alex.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Chess.
All right, you guys. That concludes our fourth Q&A with Alex Rashevsky, First Officer of Star Crusade.